Hello there, welcome back to week number 3 of the PBAL. This week we are playing Nibs of the Austin Weaviles. Looking at Nibs' team, it's a lot of really thick offense. His team is primarily physically based. You know, you're looking at things like the Conkeldurr, the Cloyster, the Mudsdale, Rillaboom, Slurpuff. A good thing to note moving into this week is that now from week 3 onwards we're moving with post-home abilities and movesets. So you know, things like Conkeldurr and Rotom-H get defog now, and everything gets toxic, and a lot of things get knockoff, which makes things like the Conkeldurr and the Rotom and the Slurpuff especially really scary. A lot more scary than they used to be. I think my team just gets defog and knockoff. Defog Mantine and defog Rotom. So when I was looking at Nibs' team, Conkeldurr is always a threat. Slurpuff plus Cloyster as like the most degenerate offensive core of just click a setup move and win are horrifying to me. Like Belly Drum Slurpuff with Fairy Move, Fighting Tube, Fighting Move, normal coverage that hits my whole squad with like neutral damage at worst. It's insane, it's fast. I need to be terrified of that, and when I was prepping for this match it was terrifying. The same thing with the Cloyster, just like Ice plus Water plus Rock move hits the whole squad. Even just like Ice move plus Water move hits the whole squad. It's terrifying. I don't like it. I don't want to see it. So when I was kind of developing my game plan for this team, it was just like going back to the basics. My team gets up a lot of residual damage, force switches, don't allow the other team to get a free turn ever, and everything should be good to go. I can clean up with something like my Excadrill, my Weavile, or whatever fast thing I have that week. So when I was looking at the team, I basically just expected the Conkeldurr to show up, the Rotom to show up, the Corsola to show up, the Cloyster, the Slurpuff, and then maybe like the Rillaboom. Mudsdale makes a lot of sense to show up as well. It was just one of those things that, like, from the only two things that I didn't expect to come were the Drifblim and the Heatmor. So going into that, my first instinct was I found my cleaner first. I ended up running a Leftovers Swift Swim Rain Dance Mantine. Flying plus water coverage in the rain is really good against Nibs' team. The only thing that really wants to kind of challenge me is the Corsola. Everything else either gets O-Code or 2-hit KO'd, with the exception of like AV Conk and like that's it. I was a little concerned about Scarf Rotom Heat kind of shutting down my fun when I eventually run out of rain, but I figure, you know, I'm trading Mantine for 2.5 kills on average, so I figured screw it, let's run it. It's a really simple set, just max HP, max speed. It's pretty self-explanatory. The next thing I went with was a pair of taunt setup sweepers. The first thing is Riley, the Gardevoir. This Gardevoir is looking to kind of take advantage of the Corsola specifically. Nibs' team tends to kind of rely on Corsola as its most consistent backbone, in terms of like reliable bulk that has reliable recovery. You know, you have things like the Mudsdale and the Rotom, and to some extent the Conkeldurr and the Cloyster. None of those are, you know, walls. They're sponges that are trying to chew a hit and then fire back and, you know, gain some sort of offensive momentum. So I figured that running a Taunt, Calm Mind, physically defensive set to kind of capitalize on that would end up serving me really, really well. Draining Kiss gets you a ridiculous amount of recovery. Like I have the calcs in front of me, and like max HP AV Conk takes 30 to 35% from unboosted Draining Kiss, and I get like 30% recovery back, which is insane with the addition of leftovers. So it's so strong straight out of the box, and it just gives me so much more bulk to deal with things like the Hatterene or the Rotom, things like that. And then like things that I'm kind of scared of, like Poison Jab Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr does like 50 to 60%. With the addition, like if I get to +1 Draining Kiss, like I end up doing 45%, and then I get 40% back plus leftovers, so I end up taking like 15% overall. It's insane. I feel like the set is fantastic, and I'm hoping it does a whole lot of work in our match. The second thing I got to kind of take advantage of the Corsola is the Lion, the max HP, max attack, bulk up Scrafty. Drain Punch plus knockoff is a really good coverage, set of coverage. Taunt means that I don't have to worry about Will-O-Wisp from the Corsola. And then bulk up means that, you know, I don't have to worry about things like the Conkeldurr, the Rillaboom, the Mudsdale, to a certain extent the Slurpuff, and the not the Mudsdale, the Cloyster. Specifically the Cloyster. It's mostly the Cloyster that I'm worried about. Again, it's a really simple set. I'm hoping it does a whole lot of work in our match. And now we're getting into things that are more kind of like bread and butter things. I have Hippowdon, which is just Stealth Rock, specially defensive with Edgequake coverage. I didn't want Rillaboom coming in for free, so I put Stone Edge on there. It also means that I can hit the Rotom. This was specifically going to be my Rotom switch-in. Rotom Heat is a huge pain for my team. The fact that it just has Levitate plus Fire Electric coverage it's a pain. Especially if it runs like the Nasty Plot variant. Huge problem, and I'm not trying to kind of, you know, roll over when it comes in. Sand plus Stealth Rock again supports the team's overall game plan of having consistent chip over the entire match. And then I just had Slack Off for utility. After the Hippowdon, I ended up going with Rotom, Condor the Rotom. Scarf Rotom outspeeds everything on the Nibs' team naturally, so I figured he's absolutely going to Scarf something. I need to have something that is faster to kind of neuter that, so I'm not caught in this like terrible position where I lose because my team is slow. Shadow Ball, T-Bolt, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp. It's this pretty standard set. It's just fast enough to outspeed everything I need to outspeed with the rest thrown in special defense. It's just there. Forces switches, gets reliable chip over turns, and it's strong enough to where Nibs can't reliably switch into it. Like Rotom does like 40 to 50% to like offensive Rillaboom with Shadow Ball. It does 25 to 30% to Conkeldurr on the Switch. So getting up hazards and then keeping sand up will end up paying huge dividends, especially for, you know, getting into a position where I can just click Shadow Ball 4 times and then win or something like that. After the Rotom, we went with the last member of the team, which is a Black Sludge Toxic Spikes 3 attack Roserade. Again, I'm just running enough speed to outspeed everything on Nibs' team. Toxic Spikes are really, really good, and Weavile in general is really, really good. Grass plus Poison stab coverage versus Nibs' team is really, really strong. Hatterene is super scary. Getting T-Spucks up to punish switch-ins like the Corsola and the Rotom and things like that are really, really good. And it also means that, again, I have something just to outspeed everything else once I remove Nibs' Scarfer. So, match will be up tomorrow. Let me know what you think of the team. And I'm really excited for y'all to see the match. I'm really excited to play it. So, hope y'all enjoy. And by the next time you see me do one of these, I will no longer be a beardy man. So, can I get a rip beard gang in the comments below? And I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Later, people.